also our mayor, James Inzaldi, and our Department of Recreation head, Debbie Oliver, who's been really a partner in this project the whole way. And I'd also like to welcome Caitlin McGinnis from Cory Booker's office here to represent the senator. This has been an amazing project here at City Green. We have been leasing this property from the city for 10 years now, which is amazing. And we've made all of these property developments and created this beautiful learning farm, and we host educational programs and farm camp and community events. We have the agricultural production happening here that serves our food access programming. We have community events like a strawberry festival and an Earth Day festival in non-COVID times. And it's just really been something that we've been thinking about the whole time, is how could we make this place a little bit more accessible, or a lot more accessible, so that everyone can enjoy these spaces. I want to point out that many of the improvements here have been funded by the Passaic County Open Space Program. And so we've applied for grants, and that's what's allowed us to do these improvements already. And then this investment is from the state of New Jersey. It's called the Inclusive Healthy Communities Grant. It's a $250,000 grant, and it's from the Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Disabilities. So it's this historic investment in accessibility in the state of Clifton. And Debbie had done, through the Department of Rec, a study with an engineer on all of the parks in Clifton, on what it would take to make their parks accessible. So with that information, we were able to apply jointly with the City of Clifton and access this funding to, make this really serious improvement here. Another part of the project is that we are working with some of our partners in Patterson and Passaic, public senior housing places, a home for former veterans in Patterson, to make the gardens that they have that were originally funded through Dig In also more accessible. So some of those will get taller raised beds, some of them will get pathways, some of them will get adapted tools. So it's really an effort, not just here at this open space, this public space, but also in the communities, right where people are living and gardening. I also want to point out this project is of personal interest to me. My Aunt Lynn grew up around the corner with my grandma. She was wheelchair bound her whole life. She lived to be about 45 years old. And whenever we wanted to bring her anywhere, it was like a 3-person operation. And she was really committed to living a life, a full life, and not letting so many barriers get in her way. She attended Montclair State University. She always loved to go shopping at Willowbrook Mall, and all the cousins had to take turns bringing Aunt Lynn to Willowbrook Mall. But I really experienced firsthand, and this is in the 70s and 80s, things have really improved, but how hard it is to do anything, just go to school or go to the mall. So I feel really personally committed to making sure that this space and other beautiful spaces we have are accessible. Just last week at our Thanksgiving market, we had a woman pull up in a van. She had the chairlift, got brought down here in her motorized wheelchair, and I'm wincing at the rough terrain. And I approached her and said, I'm really sorry that this is kind of challenging, but I shared with her the project. And she was so grateful. She's like, thank you so much for just even thinking about that, let alone making this investment and taking on this project. So the need is there, and we're excited to be doing it. So Mayor Inzaldi, would you like to say a few words about the property and the project? And then maybe Debbie?
First of all, I think we should all give a hand. Yeah. Okay, so this property is something that is part of Clifton's history, and I could remember so well Gloria Kaloje, who once was mayor and councilwoman with me.
We planted this tree for her.
Yeah, that's right. We were the 2 longest serving council people together in the history of the city, so we used to kind of scheme up together sometimes. Sometimes we'd be on opposite ends on some political issues, but when it came to some things like preservation of land and parks and playgrounds, it was like a big thing for us. The art center on City Hall property, and every time I come here, I always remember her, because this was a place where we were able to make sure that we came to compromise and consensus pretty easily with everybody else on council on this one. And in these years, we were able to, I think about 70 acres of land were able to be preserved for different things. And some of them were very interesting in nature. One was an old steel factory, which became 35 acres of one part senior housing, the rest soccer field, something that we didn't really have before. And matter of fact, last weekend, we dedicated the road into that park. John Sama day for his family and us. And those are the kind of things that I think make Clifton a special place. That we preserved a lot of land, that we have 40 parks. And every time I come here, I think of Gloria. Because it's kind of a fun place when, and it really became something for kids to see animals grow, how to grow. People coming to buy things and going out with your little Vegemobile.
Yep.
So I congratulate everybody. I thank I almost said commissioners for continuing to lend support through the county open space, not only to this project, to other ones in the city. Bring us more money, please. And it's been a great time for me to be able to see this happen. It's just a wonderful thing. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to speak more? You were Lou?
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I'm excited to be part of the team that does so much for Passaic County. I envy you, Mayor, that you have home field advantage here with City Green. But it's a great place. We're just so thrilled, Jen, for all the work that you and your team do. We're excited. We brag about you a lot. And you enable us to talk about the goodness of how government and nonprofits work together and how they can get things done. More often than not, what you really need is the financial assistance, but what you really have is the passion and desire to meet your goals. So that's what we're very proud of. Jen, just keep up the good work. I know you have a great partner here in the county.
Thank you.
Mayor, thank you very much for all that you do for Clifton and working hand in hand and being part of the team. Thank you.
Debbie, would you like to say anything? Thank you, Pat.
Hey everybody, we love this place. It makes us look really good. Classes here, people like, that amazing farm camp. I'm like, I didn't do it, but they think it went through us. It makes me look good. Thank you so much. I remember many years ago, I was starting to work for Recreation, and the city manager sent me to Passaic County Open Space meeting to plead for this farm, and I had no background or anything, and I'm like, was I supposed to wear overalls and anything? But I just talked from my heart, and they were generous and included us, and from that point on, the support has just been amazing. When we first got the farm, the city manager at the time was like, Deb, maybe we can like grow pumpkins. And I'm like, so we're gonna like go harvest the pumpkins? And he's like, yeah, come on, we'll go pumpkins. And I'm like picturing myself leaving the office, coming and picking pumpkins. I'm like, okay, Mr. Greco, we'll figure it out. And then he had a couple other ideas, and then just miraculously, we found you guys, or you found us. I don't know which way it worked, but it's been an amazing journey. When we first opened, we used to come and mow the lawn, a little strip, and teach archery right over there. That was all we had. We would just mow the lawn and then try to find the arrows later. And then they were like, okay, you can keep archery going. And I'm like, so like, are we gonna like dodge? People could have to run by as we shoot arrows. But we were able to get the community gardens, and we're helping that community to grow. And building relationships amongst residents through gardening. And for us, gardening in itself and farming is a form of recreation, and that's how we see it. It's just another way. We even, tell people use it as your fitness. Every time you pick a weed, you did a squat. So we try to incorporate it, and it's been a great relationship. We hope that we continue growing and coming up with new and better ideas.
Right. Thank you, Debbie.